Welcome to GIELTSHelp.com's General IELTS Test Preparation videos. Now you will see a Vietnamese candidate score a Band 7 for her performance on the speaking interview. For lots more help getting ready for the next exam, make sure to visit and join our premium package at GIELTSHelp.com. Also, download our app from your Google Play and Apple App Stores, General IELTS Help. Then link the app to your web account for a truly amazing learning experience. Now watch and learn.
Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test, and I'm going to record it for marking purposes. To begin, may I see your identification, please?
Of course, here you go.
Thank you. And what is your full name?
My name is Mai Tiên Nguyen. Please call me Mai.
Okay, Mai. Here is your passport back. The speaking has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. To begin, just a couple of questions to get to know you better. Do you work or study?
I am currently working as an accountant at a large company, and I'm studying for IELTS to continue my MBA in the US.
What did you do this morning?
I woke up, brushed my teeth, got dressed, and had breakfast. Then I reviewed my note, practiced in front of a mirror, and prepared for this interview.
Let's talk about numbers. What is your favorite number?
Well, my favorite number is 8, not only because that is a lucky number in Vietnam, but also because I was born on the 8th.
What numbers do you use often?
The digits I use most frequently is my family's phone number, also some secret number from my email password, and I cannot tell you those.
Which numbers are important to remember?
The most obvious is a person's phone number. Many people doesn't know it by heart, but I think it's quite useful in case of a person lost their phone.
Are you good at math?
I consider myself quite competent in arithmetic. As I mentioned, I'm an accountant, so that's my job to be good with numbers. In fact, I was always in top 3 student throughout my school years.
Have the way people use numbers changed compared to a couple of decades before?
Yes, obviously, the way people use numbers today has completely different compared to 20 or 30 years ago. Back then, people need to do more number crunching in their head. This day, with smartphone and digital calculator has been replaced this demand.
That is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, here is a card with some questions. Don't turn that over yet. Here is some note paper and a pencil. You will have 1 minute to look at the questions on the card, think about your answer. You can take notes in the 1 minute if you wish, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay, then your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Go ahead, turn over the card. Okay, Mai, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
2 years ago, in the middle of September, when I moved to a new apartment, I had to do a big end of move cleanup. There was so much to clean. It took a whole day from morning until night. I would say it took about 12 hours. Fortunately, my boyfriend was there to help me. I had to clean one bedroom apartment from top to bottom, include window, floor, light, bedroom, appliance. To get the job done, I use different detergents and window floor cleaners. Besides of the chemicals, I use sponges, cloth, broom, and mop. It definitely took a lot of elbow grease to have the job done. We took a couple of breaks during the day for rest and food, but it was still exhausting. At the end of the day, the apartment was spotless, and I felt really good about the job we accomplished.
Okay, your 2 minutes is up. I'm going to stop you there, Mai. Please pass back the card, the note paper. Thank you. And the pencil as well. And now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I'm going to ask you more questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about personal cleanliness. Why is it important to keep a clean home?
I think it is very important to keep the house tidy. It is healthy. I mean, clean up the germ, and it helps to stay organized. That's why I try to clean at least once or twice a week.
What is the best way to do this?
The best way is cleaning regularly, as I just mentioned, a couple times a week, so the mess doesn't get unmanageable.
How has technology changed the way people clean their homes?
Household cleaning machines have been modernized the way people keep the house tidy. Powerful vacuum cleaner, dishwasher, washing machine, and detergents help the cleaning much easier.
Is this always good to use these machines?
I think it is positive because it frees up valuable time and help the cleaning much easier.
If people want to protect the environment, what do they need to consider when cleaning their homes?
There are some important steps to put order in to protect the nature while cleaning. Firstly, you have to recycle as much as possible of your paper, plastic, glass, mirror, and not throw it all in one garbage. Secondly, people need to use more environmentally friendly detergents that not cause harm to soil and water.
Let's talk about community cleanup. How can society ensure that their community is kept clean?
I think both people and government need to take any action to keep their neighborhoods as clean as possible.
Can you give details?
Yes, a proactive person can create program and motivate people in their neighborhood to take at least 1 hour of their time on Sunday to pick up garbage, and government can buy the garbage bag to help them or advertise to make it happen.
What government rules can help keep neighborhoods clean?
I think there has to be some strict rule, for example, giving people fine for 3 or more millions Vietnam dong, so people don't think to do it ever again. And government should force businesses and individuals to recycle as much as possible.
What are the consequences of a dirty neighborhood?
When the community is polluted with garbage, it leads to lower quality of life, disease, and overall poor image in public. That's why government and people need to take any necessary action to avoid that.
Okay, that is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking portion of the exam. You will have your score in about 2 weeks' time with the other sections. Remember to take your identification mine. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Mai gets a band 7 for her performance on this speaking interview because she is a good user of English. What are the marking criteria to get this band 7? Well, there are several components. Firstly, Mai is fluent and coherent. She answers all of the questions completely, accurately, and with good detail. Notice the example even in her introductory responses. Also, Mai has a good range of grammar with fairly accurate grammar for the most part. She uses different kinds of conjunctions, including correlative conjunctions like not only, but also. Notice these examples in part 1 and part 3. Furthermore, Mai does an excellent job of using the questions, paraphrasing them in her answers to give very clear responses. Have a look at this example in part 3. Furthermore, Mai does a very good job of completing and answering all of the questions in part 2. She gives great detail, makes sure to use a good range of vocabulary, and remembers to use quantitative language. Take a look at this example here. So overall, Mai is a good user of English. She can communicate her thoughts accurately for all of the questions that are asked. Now, where does Mai actually lose some points? Even though Mai has a good grasp of the English language, there is still some room for improvement to be considered a very good Band 8 or an expert Band 9 speaker. Specifically, she makes several mistakes in her use of grammar in both part 1 and 3, and even some mistakes in part 2. More specifically, her use of present perfect is sometimes incorrect or awkward. Notice these examples here, where she uses a present perfect instead of a simple tense, or this example here, where she uses a passive tense of the present perfect instead of active. These kinds of mistakes cost points. Furthermore, some of her phrasing is slightly awkward and off. For instance, in part 3, she says, put order in, instead of saying, to do in order that, showing cause and effect. Also, some of her words are mispronounced. Although she doesn't lose coherence, they are awkward, especially for a native listener. The words strict and exhausted are examples of this in part 2 and part 3. In addition, even though Mai is quite fluent, there are a few places where she seems to get stuck thinking for the correct use of words and grammar. It's okay in the IELTS speaking to stop and think about what you want to say, but it's not okay to stop and think about words or grammar. These cost marks. Last but not least is Mai's intonation. She does intonate, which means that her voice goes up and down as she gives her responses. However, at times the inflections and deflections are not like that of a native speaker's, and this makes her speech slightly awkward. It is important to work on intonation and pronunciation for those students aiming for those high Band 8, Band 9 scores. Nevertheless, Mai does an excellent job in this interview, and a Band 7 is a score to be proud of. Make sure to practice your speaking every day to improve for the next time you sit the IELTS exam. To see many more lessons like this one as well as 6 original practice exams, over 100 hours of video lessons, and a fully interactive course. Visit and join our premium package at gieltshelp.com. Also, download our app, General IELTS Help, from your Google Play and Apple App Stores. Then, link the app to your web account for a truly world-class study experience. Learn quickly and efficiently. Begin studying for success today. Subscribe to our channel. Click here. Watch more videos? Click over here. Or click our IELTS Hero for 100 hours of complete video lessons, 6 original practice exams, and strategies to pass IELTS.